I see a lot of people asking me how to market their NFT collections. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you 3 steps of doing that. 3 main pillars that is crucial for an NFT collection's success. Now stick with me and I'll show you how. Hey, how's it going guys? My name's Daniel, aka HashLips, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to quickly talk about NFT marketing. It's going to be a quick video, but I feel it is crucial, seeing that a lot of people have used the HashLips art engine to create their artworks and have uploaded to the blockchain. They left with the question, what do you do now? Who do you advertise these to, and how can you build up a community to sell these NFTs and make a bit of profit, or even start an interesting concept by having a community who's willing to collect these NFTs? I'm going to share with you 3 key success pillars that is necessary for every NFT project. Today's video is a little bit different from the normal coding videos, but it is crucial to understand how to market your NFTs, because what does it help we have this amazing product that no one wants to buy? Well, we see it all the time. We see NFT collections that sell out in 3 minutes, some take a little bit longer, sells out in a month, and others simply sell a few and then get stuck. We'll look at the reasons why, and I'm going to compare 2 NFT collections and then show you why some of the NFT collections do better than the other ones, and things you can do to resolve this and start selling your NFTs. Let's jump into this video by looking at the 3 key pillars of an NFT's success. I'm going to start off by looking at the first pillar. And the first pillar has 3 words. It says presence, story, and immersion. What do those 3 words even mean? Well, think about it like this. Presence is your brand presence, who you are as a person, as a company, as an individual on the blockchain space. It is what represents your NFT collection and how people perceive it from the outside world. You might be a 14-year-old kid sitting at home making NFT collections, but if your website looks killer, no one's going to know. You don't have to be a 14-year-old kid, you can also be 80 years old, but if your presence is set up in a nice way, people are going to buy into it, love the story, and be immersed. Let's look at our first point, presence. Your presence as a brand, as a whole, who people perceive you from the outside world, is truly important. Whether it's a presence that you want people to see that it's a hand-drawn artistic thing, or if you're trying to be very cutting edge, clean, modern, doesn't matter what your style is, as long as you can convey that message to your users. Now, presence is tightly coupled to the story. What is the story? The story is very important because that is the anchor that keeps an audience kind of immersed. It keeps an audience attached to your brand. It lets them want to know more. Now, I'm not saying tell stories for the love of telling stories. I'm saying have a good story to tell. Let's look at an example of a great NFT collection that just launched that's telling the story. So I just want to make a mention. What we are going to do in this video is we're going to compare 2 NFT collections. The first collection that we're going to be comparing against is the Amigos collection. It's called Amigos Official NFT. They've recently launched and it's been picking up speed. This is one of these collections that takes a little bit slower to sell, but it is selling at a steady pace. Then I'm going to compare it to the collection, the Nerdy Coder Clones, coincidentally, one of my collections. Now, this collection is a bit slower in growth, and we are going to see how can we boost the Nerdy Coder Clones to kind of increase sales. The reason why I want to use this is so that I don't bash people's NFTs that don't do well. I'll rather bash it on the Nerdy Coder Clones, even though it's not that bad. It is still slow. But the reason why it's slow is because I haven't put any of these practices that I'm going to share with you today on this collection, simply because it's a community NFT, and that's why I didn't need to put it on this collection, but I am going to use it, and I'm going to show you how you can improve your collections. So let's start off by talking about the story, the present. When you look at this collection, the Nerdy Coder Clones, you can see that it's a bunch of coders and a couple of avatars that's pretty cool looking. But what else does this collection have apart from the cool looking artworks? Cool looking art and desirable art is very important in the NFT space. But as we have seen, artworks do not have to be really good to sell out. Now, although this artwork, and I don't want to say it's ugly because I've designed this, but because it's kind of cool and alright, I don't see any problem with that. But why is it selling slower than other collections? Well, there's no story behind the Nerdy Coder Clones. There's no immersion, really. The only connection that people have with Nerdy Coder Clones are the people who watch these videos, who see it, who want to kind of reward me as a YouTuber, to kind of say, I will buy one of these coder clones to say thank you for the videos, and that's why people are actually buying them. Which is a great thing, but like I mentioned, there's no story, there's no backstory, there's no intriguing part of this Nerdy Coder Clones, not yet. But if we look at a collection such as the Amigos, now I'm going to simply quickly go to the Amigos website. This is the amigos.io, and when I look through this website, I can immediately see the immersion. Why? It just looks cool. Immediately, when you land on this page, you can see that something is happening. You see this cool character called an amigo standing behind this text. Not only does this character look fantastic, but you already off the bat start reading about a game that these people are busy creating. The Amigos team is busy creating a game that you can actually use these NFTs in. Now, if that's not enough to get someone's attention, I don't know what is. The concept here is not that you have to create a game to make a successful NFT, but by telling people this story, by letting people know that this is happening, by telling people how these artworks were created, and having people immersed, this brings out the story. It really keeps people attached to the Amigos brand. And as you can see, as soon as we scroll down, here we can see that there's some assets, the asset marketplace, there's a Agos token, which is cool. And you can read up on this. Not only does it look cool, like I said, it is very, very nice, refined, it's quality work, but they have a nice roadmap, they have a story that they're telling, and here at the bottom you can see that each one has a different kingdom. So there's apparently an earth kingdom, there's an ice kingdom, a light kingdom, a dark kingdom. So whenever you look at this, immediately you feel, I need this, right? And why is that? Well, it's because the Amigos team has gone to the length of communicating what these NFTs are all about. You can see that there's different kingdoms. That means there is thought into these NFTs, and the thought of creating a game is, in the works. You can see and you can imagine for yourself how this game would kind of work just by looking at the artworks and the descriptions on the page. And that's the beautiful thing about NFTs and storytelling. You never have to complete the full story. You never have to explicitly tell someone a story from A to Z. That's not how books work. Books simply give you enough information for your mind, your imagination to take it to the next level. Now, this is exactly what a storytelling in NFT space is. Please keep in mind, the only reason why I'm showing off Amigos is because I personally know the developer of Amigos, and I know that they are busy building this game and hyping this community up for this game because it's really cool. But another thing about stories, you cannot tell false stories. So if you want to market your own NFTs, tell the stories, but don't make false promises. Because the Amigos team is building a game, that's why they can tell it to their community. And that's a very important part, because you never want to lose trust in a community. By the way, this is very cool. So that is my first point on storytelling, immersion, and actually having that X factor, if you can put it like that, in your NFT. It's the thing that keeps people coming back, wanting to know more. When is the game going to be done? How far is it? What can I do with my character? Those are all little stories that can add to the main concept. I hope you see where I'm going with this. You can immediately feel the brand presence, the story, the kind of immersion that goes along with the Amigos. And that's something that the Nerdy Coder Clones page, which is simply just a minting dApp, is lacking. It's lacking that X factor because it's simply a way for people to mint. There's no extra information. What do people do when they have this NFT? At least with the Amigos, you know that you can partake in a game that is being developed, and that is something cool. Now, I'm not saying Nerdy Coder Clones aren't cool, because trust me, they are going to blow up one day. So maybe getting one is is a good idea. But by the way, that's just something that you guys have to understand. And that is what I was talking about when I say presence, story, and immersion. Let's jump to the next point, which is community, social, and the audience. Talking about communities, social media basically, and audience. Well, it's pretty self-explanatory. But I don't want you to think that you need to have thousands of followers in order to have a successful collection sale, because that is simply not the case. As long as your community is engaged enough in what you do, believes in you enough to want to own one of these NFTs, you should be good. Because as long as your community, is strong, meaning that because of your presence and your story and the immersion, people want to know more, so they join the channels that you provide, such as Facebook, YouTube, Discord, and Telegram. They basically want to know more, so they stick around and they wait for that collection to drop. This is also touching on the next point, where there's a certain time that you kind of need to drop your NFTs. And that's usually regarding hype building. Hype building is the part where you introduce a collection that you're going to drop. I have seen a lot of collections that just drop out of the blue that really don't do well, because no one knows about it yet. You might be lucky and drop it immediately, and someone might pick it up like a very famous person, and then everyone wants to buy it. But that's rarely the case. So, hype building is a very good starting point to kind of build up the community, build up the target audience that would love those NFTs, and stick around until the launch date. To show you an example of hype building in social media, I think it's pretty simple, right? Well, you get Discord and Telegram, which are two great platforms for NFTs right now. I would say Discord even more so. Let's take a look at the Discord channel of the Amigos. You can see that the Amigos Discord channel, they have giveaways over here. They have roadmaps, they have Twitter raids, they kind of building up this community. If you go into their chat, you can just see chats and chats and chats about this NFT launch and what people want to do. It's quite cool to be a part of this. Now, if we look at this second pillar, is social media, building a community is quite important. It is not enough to just start a Twitter page or an Instagram page or whatever page you want to start and just simply refer people to go and like your stuff. That simply won't work. For people to like your things, they need to get value out of it. Now, what is value? Well, value can be subjective and it can be all sorts of things. But the value that you are trying to convey to your community is the fact that they would need your NFTs one day. So value can be whether it's you building a game and you're selling these NFT assets for the in-game that's about to release. It can be if you buy an NFT, there's going to be a giveaway. Giveaways are a great example of building up a community. And you might say that I don't have any money to give away. Well, you've got NFTs, right? So, a good strategy is usually to reserve an amount of NFTs that you can give away to the community once your collection is launched. This will make people stick around in the community and start building up relationships with you, the team, and with each other. As long as that positive flow gets kept and no false promises is made and the team always upholds what they say they want to do, the community will thrive and grow and they will tell more people. By the time that you are ready to drop your collection, that is the time the community will kind of start believing in this project enough to say they will definitely go and mint one, because at the end of the day, for people minting NFTs, they also might have different objectives. Some people might be around to simply flip an NFT and make some quick money. Other people might be there because they are avid collectors. And some might be there for just the community. You never know. But the important part is to have that community, have discussions, have plans, and have community votings on special things that you want to do with your NFT collection. Keep in mind, by this point, you shouldn't really have launched anything. If you do, I'll show you what happens. Again, I'm going to refer to the nerdy coder clones. You can see that this collection was literally dropped on a tutorial video, and I was just telling everyone in the community to go and have a look at it. Now, that was a very quick drop. People might be surprised and actually buy into it. People might understand the cause, that it's a supportive token, and go and support. But whatever the reason is, there's no real community that's built up to the point where people were realizing that these NFTs were in the making. There was no community following this. Even though there's a community following these YouTube videos and the coding tutorials I do, this doesn't really have a strong connection to the NFTs. If I wanted to blow this up big, I would have started making videos a long time ago. The creation process, how we're going to launch these NFTs, when is the launch date, and those kind of things. Looking at the amigos, what they have done is they have talked to their community a long time before the time, basically a while ago, and started, planting the seed, asking the community what their opinions are, having community votings on what should happen in the game. They started building up a community that slowly grew into this amazing thing on Discord. So I highly recommend go and check them out. They're very cool. But because they have done that, when they've launched, and this project has launched at about 4 days ago, 3 days ago, they already have minted 972 items, which isn't too bad if you think about it. There's about 394 owners, and it's increasing by the day. Soon, these people will have minted all 7,500 of these NFTs, and I have to be also proud to say that I know that the owner of this collection actually used the HashLips art engine to create these 3D artworks. So that's also a reason why I'm so proud of showing this off. So that's why an audience is so important. The audience, the target audience, is truly going to be the people who mint your NFTs from day one. Other people might see it by having a look or taking a glimpse on other social media, seeing the project and quickly buy in, but they won't be that true supporter from the start. And you really need those key individuals for a great successful product. Not always, there is the exception that someone might drop secretively, especially if you're someone like Banksy. By the way, Banksy, if you ever see my videos, maybe give me a call. I would definitely do a collection with you. But if we're not Banksy, right? If we're not those famous artist people who can just drop and say, there we go, then we have to follow these steps. Lastly, we can see that our pillar is now development, growth, and a plan. What do we talk about when we say development, growth, and plan? Well, it's very simple. Development actually is just the smart contract development, the development of your whole project, and growing it with a nice plan. So, first of all, developing a strong, secure smart contract can be achieved by reusing verified smart contracts, looking at videos such as the ones that I provide below. Always make sure that you review your own code before you launch. Also, having a growth plan in place is very important. And what is the simplest growth plan that you can have? Well, it is simply to repeat these steps. So your development should be strong, and then growth plan should combine these and repeat them, if that makes sense. So once your development is done and you are happy with it, development can also be a continuous thing that you do. But growing a successful plan just means by reiterating through your presence, your story, always improving it, always keeping people immersed, always keeping active and engaging with your community, growing the community. Those steps are very important. Talking about reiterating the first two steps, basically growing the community, you can use tools such as rarity.tools, go to the upcoming NFT sales, and maybe submit your project. This is a great way for people to see upcoming projects, and a lot of people by now know of these sites. So there's a lot of these sites out and available in the NFT space that you can use, so go ahead and make use of them. Also, a great way of community building is going to certain NFT channels, but please do not spam these channels and join them just for shilling. That is really not going to work out. The best way of getting engaging community members is by joining a channel, finding out what a channel's about, taking part in conversations that's meaningful maybe in the general chat section. But when the time comes, there should be a kind of shill section and keep it to the particular shill channel. Never, and absolutely never, go and shill in other channels of Discord servers. What will end up happening is you'll just get banned. People would badmouth your NFT collection, and it's not really good for community growth. But, however, as you can see, if there is a promotions channel, make use of it. Publish your stuff, publish what you are about, talk to the community, and don't simply drop a link. Maybe explain it to people a bit more, and you can see that a few of these individuals who have dropped NFT collections have actually started building up members, and they're doing it slowly but surely. But even though this process takes a bit of time, it's like a snowball. What happens if you throw a snowball hard enough? Well, if it starts running, it will pick up snow, and when you look at it again, it's this big gigantic ball that you cannot stop. It means that is your community growing by itself, and that's what you want to achieve. So at the end of it all, it's basically creating a presence, creating a story, having immersion for people who want to own your NFTs, come up with a great story, and stick with it and be truthful with it. Then build up a community and have channels for people to follow where everyone can communicate. Do this by engaging with your community. Then, lastly, make sure that your development is strong and also have a growth plan set in place to kind of reiterate these two. And that is it, guys. There is something special that you can try out. It is experimental at this stage, but it's really worth giving it a shot. Let me tell you what it is. The alternative, of course, is you can always use a service to create your NFTs and your hype for you. Now, up until this point, I haven't really seen a lot of these services, and I was fortunate enough to be a part of this Last Mint community started up by community members to help artists launch their NFT projects. Currently, all you need to do is pay for the minting fees of your smart contract, and they take a percentage and they do the hypes for you. You can see that there's already a few cool collections, including this one, because my involvement with Last Mint is simply they are making use of the HashLips ecosystem where they have the art generator set up and a smart contract, and they basically set it all up for you. So that's why I'm showing this, because I'm very proud that these people are using my art generator. I highly recommend, if you do not want to get into the nitty-gritty of all of this advertising, marketing, and creating the NFTs, creating the smart contracts, go and hit these people up. There's a submit section and you can go and do that. The last and final way that I can recommend that you can have a successful NFT launch is by collaborating with someone in the NFT space. Now, I'm using this as an example, but I will give a few artists the opportunity to actually contact me, and I will consider doing a cool NFT drop with you guys. My only conditions for doing that is that you need to be doxed, meaning that you need to have revealed your identity to me, because I do not trust working with people who don't want to reveal their identity. And no one does have to do that. So only if you are comfortable with showing me who you are, you're more than welcome to contact me. The place that you can get a hold of me are really any of the spaces that I operate in. My Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, all of those channels have message boxes that you can use. But usually they are populated with a lot of requests. So sometimes I say sorry if I don't get back to you immediately. The best place to contact me is on LinkedIn. So if you want to find me, you can Google my name over there. I can't show you on this video because it exposes my personal information too much. But if you really are interested, you can go ahead and go and invite me there. I'll accept you, and then you can present to me what your idea is. Now, that being said, collaborations are a great idea and a great concept, because you're basically taking two people, either an artist or a developer, or two artists or two developers, and you using both of those individuals' resources. So you're using both people's channels, both people's community members, and this creates excitement. Collaborations have been known to create excitement in the NFT and blockchain space. Now, that being said, I'm not the only collaborator that you have to work with, and please don't overwhelm me with too many requests. If you really are interested, you can go and do that. Keep in mind, I do have a full-time job, and I only take my weekends and evenings to make some of these videos. So my time is limited, but on our Discord channel, so if you want to go back to our Discord channel, to our HashLips Discord channel, you'll see that there is a little section down here, and it is for dev jobs and dev hirings. Now, if you go to any of these channels, you will most probably find someone that will be able to help you out. And I see there's been a lot of people asking questions for devs to help them. You can either go that route too. Now, that being said, guys, I really hope everyone enjoyed this video. I know it's not a coding video, and we'll continue with those in the future, but it's important to understand the different ways that you can build up a collection and make it successful. I really hope this was informative, and I want to say thank you for almost 9,300 subscribers to my channel. I am truly grateful for each and every one of you. Please leave a like on this video if this was helpful. Leave some comments if you want to suggest something that I do or maybe talk about, and then go and join our community channels to just have a chat and be a part of the HashLips family. Till then, see you in the next video. Cheers for now.